The heroes of Azeroth have a hard time of it. Constant rounds of questing, fighting, collecting, travelling. It seems like they barely have a moment's peace to sit back and reflect, never mind actually relaxing or having fun. But that doesn't mean that the festivals and celebrations of Azeroth stop happening each month. And if we can pull ourselves away from world questing to protect a world tree, or smell testing with a race of blind mole people, we'll find that the ancient traditions, remembrances, and of course excuses for grand feasts and dancing still linger on. Let's take a look at the celebrations of Azeroth across the year and discover how they came to be. The Lunar Festival calls back to the time when an alliance of several races of Azeroth, Night Elves, Tauren, Furbolgs and Earthen, first celebrated their triumph against the Burning Legion many long years ago. Still to this day, it's a time to pay respect to ancestors and ancient heroes of old, whose spirits take this time to visit the mortal realm and offer gifts to those who honour them. It's held in Nighthaven, a town in Moonglade, by the druids who live there, and both Horde and Alliance are welcome. It is a time of joy, but during the celebrations, the three-headed demon Omen stirs from his place within Lake Elunara. Once a noble wild god, Omen was twisted by the Legion, and yet still possesses Elun's blessing, making him immortal. When the festivities rouse him from his slumber, it's up to the heroes of Azeroth to subdue him once more. We don't need much of an excuse or reason to celebrate those we love, but on Azeroth there's a festival dedicated to just that. While there's no deep lore reason for the celebration, it originally began in 2006 with a 4-day celebration, and was expanded further with each year that passed. Whether it's love, friendship, or admiration, it's a time for giving and receiving gifts, though those who aren't so keen on the idea often find themselves with lovesickness festering in their hearts. Long considered a festival for lords and nobles of the Alliance, Noblegarden has recently been taken up by the Horde as well. Traditionally, the nobles would hide coins and treasures, often shaped like eggs and painted to look like wildflowers, around the major cities for general citizens to find. It's meant to bring communities of all walks of life together, from the commoners to those of higher standing, and usually ends in a huge feast where the joys of life and the bonds of friendship may be renewed. Also known as the Week of the Wardens, Children's Week is known as a time when the heroes of Azeroth, whether Alliance or Horde, can give back to the community and to the orphans of the many wars that have marred the planet, all the way up to the present day. Several orphanages exist in the major cities: Stormwind, Orgrimmar, Shattrath, Dalaran, Kultiris and Zandalar. The better to choose an orphan to accompany your hero on their adventures, which definitely isn't questionable or dangerous. As with some other Azerothian holidays, this one is based on a real-life event. In Japan, Children's Day occurs on the 5th of May and is meant to celebrate and respect children's personalities and happiness. In-game, Children's Week takes place in the early part of May as well. A festival to rekindle spirits of the people, to awaken the fire in their hearts and ward off ancient evils with the power of flame. The Midsummer Fire Festival begins at the same time as the Northern Summer Solstice in our own world, and lasts for about 2 weeks in June. Each year for centuries, new guardians are chosen to watch over the sacred flame and ensure that it's never extinguished. Games are played, torches are stolen from opposing cities, and merry dances spin around ribboned poles. Meanwhile, Lord Ahun, the frost elemental harnessed by the cultists of the Twilight's Hammer, aims to cause trouble and extinguish the flame for good. By the end of Midsummer, the sky is set alight with fireworks, and the flame of perseverance and hope burns stronger and brighter than ever before in the hearts of Azeroth's heroes. A time for giving thanks to the heroes of old, and to anyone who sacrifices in order to ensure that Azeroth is kept safe. The Harvest Festival is observed by Alliance and Horde alike, and of course it's a great excuse for a huge feast to be laid out at the dwarven city of Ironforge and the Horde capital of Orgrimmar. Setting aside their differences just for this time of year, both sides pay tribute to their memories and those they hold dear. The graves of Uther Lightbringer and Grom Hellscream are visited, and candles of remembrance are lit for Uther in the Eastern Plaguelands or at Grom's grave in Ashenvale. Heavily inspired by the Halloween of our world, Hallows' End is the time when the darker and colder weather draws in near the end of the year. Tricks can be played with the help of the orphans of the cities, or heroes can collect as many treats as they can stomach from settlements across Azeroth. Legend also tells of the horrifying figure known as the Headless Horseman, once a knight of the Silver Hand of Tyr. His name is Sir Thomas Thompson, and he believes he is alive even still, and his mission is to defeat all those who are dead. That would be us. And so we come to the end of the year in Azeroth, a time of change marked by many races, but the dwarves and the Tauren especially look to the legends of Winter Vale, the time when snow is blanketed across the land, leading to a time of great renewal. The name itself stems from the existence of Greatfather Winter, similar to our own Santa Claus. It is said that he would walk the land late in the year, and winter itself would be the cloak that flowed behind him, casting snow on the ground, and literally becoming the veil that he laid over Azeroth. Having said this, Winter Vale is celebrated in many different ways. The dwarves choose to acknowledge the existence of Greatfather Winter himself, even considering him to be one of the Titans, and their home of Ironforge to be one of his great blessings. Meanwhile, the Tauren choose to focus on their shamanistic belief of winter, looking to the renewal of the earth after the snow, and choosing this time to give their thanks for the blessings bestowed on them in their homeland of Mulgore. With the snow blankets beginning to melt and life across the world renewed, the heroes of Azeroth look to take up their swords to venture into the unknown once again, if they even can, with their bellies full of food and drink. I'd love to know which of these festivals is your favourite, and whether you've completed all of the achievements for any single one of these. I know I haven't. Our own New Year fireworks are fast approaching, and with this being the last video of 2023, I wanted to wish you all a really happy New Year. I'll see you all in 2024 with plenty more videos still to come. Take care until then.